I literally could not believe it. I actually have it on my phone, in my hands. I have no idea where I'm gonna rank this in my Emily Henry ranking. I just have to talk about this. I'm so excited. This is the perfect way to start off a vlog. And it's by saying that I have an advanced listener's copy of Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I freaked out when I saw the ALCs for the month of April from Libro FM. I literally could not believe it. I actually have it on my phone, in my hands. This is real life. This is real life. And especially after being rejected from the Berkeley influencer program, that really hurt. That really hurt me. But now I actually have access to this book early. So it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it does not matter. I finally have the chance to listen to this book. Would I rather have a physical copy or like even an ebook? Yes. Mainly because I have found in my experience with Emily Henry books, I would prefer to read them physically. I feel like I have a better time and I feel like I connect with them a little bit more in their physical format. I think mainly it's because I'm able to like make a playlist for that specific book. Like I have a playlist for beach read. I have a playlist for people who meet on vacation. I have a playlist for happy place. And I don't think I ever made one for funny story. I really should, but I never ended up doing that. Maybe once I get to my reread of Funny Story and Book Lovers, I will actually make playlists for those books. But so far I only have a playlist for 3 of them. And funny enough, they're my 3 favorite Emily Henry books. Maybe that's just part of it. Maybe for me, the experience of reading an Emily Henry book includes making a playlist for that specific book. Anyway, I have already started listening to Great Big Beautiful Life. I'm so excited for this book. I cannot tell you enough like how excited I am. I literally screamed when I saw this. I'm a huge Emily Henry fan. I have been for years at this point. I believe I read Beach Read in 2020. I'm pretty sure. And that was my first Emily Henry romance book. I had read one of her YA books that she wrote with another author, the one that she wrote with Brittany Caballero, and I actually did not like that book, surprisingly. Even though those are 2 of like my favorite authors, I love both of them. I did not like their work together. However, once I read Beach Read, I was hooked. I was obsessed. I got the hype immediately, and I'm actually still currently rereading Beach Read technically. However, it's been really tough because that book, I have like a very emotional connection to that book, like a serious emotional connection to it. Like that folklore, those 2 things together, Beach Read and folklore, they're like intrinsically tied for me. And it just brings up a lot of emotions. Like that book really made me feel things deeply. And so it's been really hard to reread it, but we are persevering. We will get through it, just not today, because today is about Great Big Beautiful Life. So like I said, I've already started it. I am 23% of the way through. I have already cried. Already. Not necessarily because like it's an emotional book. I mean, it is emotional, but it was just me. Like it was just it was just like the emotions that I was projecting onto this book. I just like cried a little bit, just a little bit. But I'm loving it so much, and I've already started to like really think about like the book cover and the 2 main characters that are shown on the book cover, and like the characterization that is shown through their illustrations and like shown through their descriptions in the book. And I'm having a lot of thoughts. I might be overthinking some things at the moment, but I am so freaking excited. I can't wait for this to come out physically though. Like I need to hold the book in my hands because already it's just going by too fast. Like how am I a quarter of the way through this book already? I just started listening to it last night and I'm already a quarter of the way through it, and I haven't even been listening to it all that often. Like I stayed up so late last night listening to the first like 20% of this book and just devouring it. I just need to chill. I just need to chill and calm down. I'm just too excited. So we have been listening to this book. My mind is blown. And then once we're done with that, we're going to get to Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. This is another book that was selected for the April ALCs for the Libro FM program. If you are unaware and you make book content, or say you're a librarian or a bookseller or an educator or whatever, if you are any of those things, that you can apply to the Libro FM audiobook listening copy. I don't know what they call it. It has like a name, but it's basically a program where each month they send you like 20 advanced listeners copies, and you can choose 10 of them and listen to them, review them, promote them, whatever. So that's how I was able to get an advanced copy of this book, because as a lot of you probably know, there's been a lot of drama on within the book community about the advanced copies of this book. People are somehow under the impression that the only way to get an advanced copy of this book is to be part of the Berkeley Influencer Program, and that's just not true. Though I can totally see how somebody like who's not super in tune with the community and not super knowledgeable, maybe they're like brand new, maybe they're really young, whatever, they just wouldn't know how these things work. You can absolutely get arcs of books even if you're not part of the program for that specific imprint or whatever. You can totally get an advanced copy. I've done it before, even outside of the Libro FM program. Like I've been able to do that just by emailing the publisher, emailing the imprint. Does it work every time? No. Does it work for every book? No. Does it work for every creator, influencer, whatever? No. However, it's possible. So I just think that the drama is really funny, and like the person is such a troll, and she's probably like 14 and she like just doesn't know how things work, which is fine. If you're 14, you probably don't know how a lot of the things work. I know when I was 14, I thought I knew everything. Turns out I didn't. But anyway, I'm super excited for this one, and I'm gonna bring you guys along and let you guys know what I think of this book, because as you guys know, I love Emily Henry. And yeah, I'm super excited to talk about this book with you guys. Dream come true. Dream come true. So I don't want to keep rambling on. I'm going to probably go to the gym later. I have already gotten dressed. I don't think I'm gonna wear this sweatshirt to the gym. I might. We'll see how I feel. They did end up fixing the fans, like the overhead fans at my gym. They have been broken for like over a month at this point. They finally fixed them like a week ago. So that might be okay to wear like a long sleeve shirt to the gym. We'll see. And I don't think I talked about this, but I got a new water bottle from my brother. He asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I was like, get me a new water bottle for the gym, because I have been using like basically a little like tumbler for my water, and it's just like not the vibe. It's not convenient. It's like pretty hard because like there's no like handle or anything, and it's just like a straw, so it's just kind of hard to like carry around in the gym. And he decided to get me an Apollo. I didn't like specify what kind of water bottle I wanted. I was just like, just pick me out a water bottle. That's what I want for my birthday. And he picked out this one. It's like all white and really cute. I'm sure that his fiance also had a hand in picking this out. So thank you to Sarah. Thank you to her. Thank you to my brother. But yeah, super cute. I only have one sticker on it right now. I'm still debating on if I'm gonna even put stickers on this. I don't know if I'm kind of over that, but yeah, really like this. And I feel like that's everything that I wanted to talk about. I did just post my new vlog. That was really exciting. I'm hoping that people will enjoy it and watch it. I feel like my Disney vlogs are kind of like on the lower end of views whenever I post them. So that Disney vlog was just kind of for me, which is totally fine. But yeah, so that's everything. That's my update. I'm so excited about GBBL. I know people are like laughing at the acronym that everybody's using for A Great Big Beautiful Life, because it's like GBBL. And I think that's hilarious, and I kind of want to use it more. So yeah, super excited. And I hope that you guys enjoy this, and I hope that it is enlightening, and maybe it'll convince you to read it, or who knows, maybe I won't end up liking it at the end of the video. We'll see what happens. I am currently 50% of the way through Great Big Beautiful Life. I can't believe it. 50%. I'm like, how has this book already flown by so fast? I just started it like yesterday and I'm already 50% of the way through. What? That's crazy. So I have been reading this. I also did film a video. I filmed my March wrap up, so that will be coming out soon. It probably is already out but by the time I've uploaded this vlog. I'm halfway through. We are starting to focus a lot more on like the romance aspect of this book, which is kind of nice because I'm really starting to fall for this romance. I'm starting to really enjoy it. These two characters are just... they're both very different, but they also have a lot of things in common, which is like really interesting because you start off seeing these two and they seem really, really different. Like she's very sunshiny. He's very much like the grumpy part of the sunshine grumpy trope. And so you kind of start off thinking like, oh, maybe they don't really have a lot in common, whatever, but they both are part of these families that are like expecting a lot from them and are also kind of disappointed in them at the same time, which I think is like a good place for them to connect. And then they just also have this like really undeniable chemistry, and it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel fake, it feels very real, and it just seems like they kind of like have like this puzzle piece, like it's like it kind of feels like they fit together in the way that like a puzzle piece does, you know what I mean? Like she just so very clearly fits into him and vice versa, you know what I mean? Like it just makes sense. But I'm also the type of person that I love this like grumpy sunshine dynamic, regardless of like which characters are grumpy, which characters are sunshine. I just love it. It really works for me. So that could be me. It's so funny because I feel like a lot of times when people love that trope, they are like the sunshiny character or like they relate more to the sunshiny character. I don't. I saw somebody post about this recently and I can't remember who it was, and I wish I could remember so I could give them credit. But somebody, I think maybe on TikTok or something, maybe Threads, they were talking about how when they read Emily Henry books, they realize how not sunshiny they are. Like they realize how they themselves are not the sunshine character. And I'm the same way. Like I will read People We Meet on Vacation or this book or whatever, and I'm like, I cannot relate to this girl in the slightest, not even a little bit. I just am not like that sunshiny character, and I don't know if it comes off differently in my vlogs or whatever, but I in real life am just not the sunshine character. I'm very much more the grumpy character. Ask anybody who like knows me and hangs out with me every single day. I'm not the sunshine character. So it's funny to like read this book or People We Meet on Vacation, but I feel like with Poppy and now with Alice, like Emily Henry writes her sunshine girls as like very sunshiny. But I do love Alice. I think that she's really interesting and I really feel for her, and hearing about her connection to her dad is like so special. And I've also just noticed that like Emily Henry is always killing off the dads in so many of these books. The dads are dead, or the dads are just like not in the picture, or like there's some sort of drama happening with the dads in her books, which I think is kind of refreshing. Because I remember recently on Threads, maybe a week or so ago, somebody posted something about how in a lot of romance books it tends to be the mom who's dead, or the mom that the main character has the trauma or drama or whatever with. And that's not true for Emily Henry books, and I think that's really interesting. So I really like that, because you know, I think that dad drama, or like having these big feelings about your relationship with your dad is like very common and very relatable. So I really appreciate Emily Henry exploring those themes. And then I really do love this male main character, Hayden. I think that he is really interesting, and I think that if you are the type of Emily Henry reader who really loves Gus from Beach Read, you're gonna love this character as well. This guy comes off as really serious, but he is actually like deep down kind of a goofy goober, and I love that. Like, there is a scene that I just got past where he kind of reveals that he's like extremely afraid of snakes, and that scene actually kind of scared me for a second because I was like so deep into the book and I was just like really enjoying it, and then suddenly he like has this outburst of like, what the fuck, you know, whatever, and it's all over a snake, and he like cannot deal with it. Like, he's like totally overreacting about this snake, and I'm just like, that is hilarious, and also low-key kind of adorable. I love it. I could honestly talk about this book so much. I like don't want to talk too much about it though, because I feel like this is the kind of book that you want to go in not knowing too much, because there's so many things that you're finding out, especially from the non-romance plot section. Like, I really love this sort of like, not subplot, but like secondary plot that is following Alice as she interviews this older woman and finds out more about her like famous family and stuff like that. I think that that is so intriguing, and I'm like totally hooked on this story about her and her family and her life and her parents and her grandparents, you know, whatever. It's fascinating, and I love the detail that Emily Henry has gone into for this section, because she could have totally phoned it in. I have seen so many times when romance authors kind of try to add like a important secondary plot, and they don't go the extra mile. They don't really go deep into like trying to make it layered or complex or whatever, and it just falls flat and kind of makes it seem like, why are we even here? Let's just focus on the romance. But with this book, I feel like the importance is split pretty evenly between the romance plot and then this more like historical fiction plot, which I love. I think it's iconic. I think it's really well executed. I think it's going to be a really good crossover for a lot of people. I've already seen a lot of people who are like pretty hard and set romance readers read this book and actually really enjoy it, which I think is very promising. For me personally, I'm not like a hard and fast romance reader, so I knew I was gonna like this book. But yeah, I've seen a lot of my friends, or a lot of people I trust, a lot of people who have similar reading tastes to me, really enjoy this book, and so I'm not gonna say anything too concrete at this moment. I'm only 50% of the way through, but so far so good. I'm really enjoying this book. And yeah, I feel like that's all I want to talk about for now, because we are getting so much deeper into the romance. Like, we've already had a little bit of a steamy scene and it was very good. For some reason, I love Emily Henry's steamy scenes. I'm the type of romance reader that can live with or without steamy scenes or whatever. It doesn't make or break a book for me, to be honest. Like, there are some books that are super spicy that I love, some books that are like zero spice that I also love, so it really doesn't matter to me. But for some reason, Emily Henry's like spicy scenes are so good. So good. I love them so much. She is like just such a genius at that. Like she has found her niche, and it is so good. Like, the romance books that Emily Henry puts out are truly like, they're foundational. They are foundational. So anyway, that's all I want to say for now about Great Big Beautiful Life. I'm loving it so far. I have no idea where I'm gonna rank this in my Emily Henry ranking, because right now, just off the top of my head, my ranking goes Beach Read, Happy Place, People We Meet on Vacation, Funny Story, and Book Lovers. I do need to reread Book Lovers, and I also want to reread Happy Place, but I don't know how much my ranking is going to change, honestly. Though I will say that after I reread People We Meet on Vacation, I did actually bump it up considerably. So I could reread Book Lovers and end up loving it even more than I did on my first read. And I will say, I've given 5 stars to every Emily Henry book. So it's not like, oh, I hated Book Lovers or something. It's like, no, I really did love Book Lovers. It just didn't hit as hard personally as Beach Read or Happy Place or even People We Meet on Vacation. So I just wanted to say that because sometimes I feel like in Emily Henry rankings, and this is similar to like Taylor Swift album rankings, people will see you rank something low and think that you hate it. And it's like, that is the furthest thing away from the truth. I genuinely love every single Emily Henry romance book I've read. It's just, something has to be at the bottom. Something has to be at the bottom. I can't rank everything as number 1. It's just that's not how life works. So just wanted to make that clear. Anyway, I am going to get ready to go to the gym because we definitely have to do that today. And I don't have to make dinner because I already made dinner last night and I made plenty for leftovers. So I have that all taken care of. But I do think I have to go to the store because I need a few things. So I'm like, do I just want to wait until tomorrow? Because I could wait until tomorrow when I get paid and then go to the store. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet, but I do need to go to the store at some point before the weekend, and it's already Thursday. So yeah, anyway, don't want to keep rambling on. I will see you guys later. Okay, so I am almost done with Great Big Beautiful Life, and I just can't believe that we are already here to the end. Like, I literally have less than 30 minutes left of this audiobook, and I'm freaking out, honestly. I'm like, how are we already at chapter 33? Like, we are literally near the very end of this book, and I'm just like, I'm not ready for it to be over. And it's so funny because I'm just like, I don't know, there was something about me that was like, maybe I'm not gonna like this book as much as I think I am, or I'm not going to enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed other Emily Henry books, and that would be totally valid and that wouldn't be such a big deal. But now that I'm towards the end of this book, I'm like, I want to live in this world just a little bit longer. Like, I'm not ready to let it go yet. And I think it's just like, there's something about the history aspect of this book, the old Hollywood aspect of this book, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so intriguing. And the way that Emily Henry has crafted the history and just like the intrigue of this family and this woman and, you know, everything like that, I'm just so enthralled and I'm so obsessed. And then of course, like, the romantic plot with the female main character and her love interest and just like all of that mixed together and how everything is kind of intertwined. It's really, really good. And I just cannot believe that we are here already. I can't believe I've just read the new Emily Henry book. What? That's crazy to me. And it's just so funny because it's like, I don't necessarily agree with this because, like, I feel like every single romance book she's written has been so different. At least in my mind, they're all so different. But like, I've seen some people say that her books are becoming too formulaic or like they're too similar or whatever. I don't personally see that, but this one specifically is so different than her other books, like so different. So I feel like if maybe you are in the camp of thinking that way, I don't really see how that's like a thought process somebody has, but maybe, sure. But if you are in that camp, I would definitely recommend at least giving this one a try, because it is extremely different than her other books, like way different. So yeah, I'm loving it though. I'm loving it so much. But I'm gonna finish it right now, and I will check back in with you guys when I'm done with it. I'm not ready. Okay, so I just finished Great Big Beautiful Life, and like all Emily Henry epilogues, I cried. I did. It made me cry just a little bit. I just this is the kind of book that I like didn't realize I was wanting, but now that I have it, I am kind of obsessed. Like, it's amazing, and it's really reminding me perfectly of The Last Great American Dynasty by Taylor Swift. And I think that was totally intentional, because there were a few lines that really reminded me of Taylor lyrics, specifically from the song Marjorie, which, I mean, like, it is very much like Marjorie. It is very much The Last Great American Dynasty, which I think is great, because I feel like I haven't really read very many books that are similar to those songs. But it also reminds me of another one of the books that I loved a few years ago, and that was The 7 or 8 Deaths of Stella Fortuna by Juliet Grimes. I loved that book, and this one, I think with the way that like the history is told, just kind of gave me similar vibes. Like, it's not at all the same kind of book, but to me in my brain, that's just like the connection it made. This book is so layered and woven together so interestingly in a way that I haven't seen Emily Henry do in any of her other romance books, which I think is really impressive, especially since, I mean, you look at Emily Henry's publishing schedule, I guess, and for the last, what, 5-ish years, 6 years, she's published a romance book per year. And I don't know how long it took her to write Great Big Beautiful Life. Like, I have no idea, but the time and effort this book must have taken, from like trying to get all of the history together and trying to figure out which threads need to go where. It's really impressive to me as someone who has been writing for so long. I would feel so overwhelmed by a project like this. And yeah, I'm just like, as a writer, I'm really impressed by the fact that she was able to put this together in such like a short amount of time. I feel like if I were to have a critique, which I feel like this is fair, and it's honestly not even that bad of a critique because it's really just me wanting more, and it's the fact that I wish there was just a little bit more of everything. Like, I already know that this is like a 12-hour audiobook, so this is clearly a pretty long book. I just wish that I'd gotten more of the romance, and I wish that I could have learned a bit more about like her subject, if that makes sense. I don't think that there was necessarily anything lacking. I just wish that we had gotten to live in this book a little bit longer. I just really, really enjoyed this book, and I really liked the themes of family and feeling like you don't really belong within your family unit, feeling like you are a bit of an outsider, feeling like you're letting your family down by the path that you've chosen to put your life on. I just feel like for me, and probably for a lot of other people, that is a theme that hits really close to home. And so I really liked the way that she explored those things. I mean, she has proven time and time again how great she is at writing family dynamics. I think that that is somewhere that she really thrives. Like Beach Read, Funny Story, and even like Book Lovers deal really closely with family dynamics. And I think that in each one of them, they're all pretty different in the types of families that are being represented. But I think that every time she kind of nails it right on the head. So I really appreciated that in this book, because I feel like she went even deeper, because there are so many like families in this book. It's not just the main character's family, or not just like the love interest family or whatever. You really get to see how these different dynamics play out, which I really appreciated. And I mean, like, I feel like in this book her writing style really shines, whereas I feel like in other books it doesn't really get the chance to kind of play around, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like in Funny Story you don't really get to see too much of like the playful, sort of whimsical tone that Emily Henry's writing tends to have, whereas in books like Beach Read or Happy Place you really get to see that a bit more at the forefront. And this book I definitely feel like is in that same vein of like Emily Henry getting to show off a little bit more of like the intricate usage of language and imagery and stuff like that. There were definitely passages in this book that felt like they had a bit more of like a lyrical quality to it, which I really enjoyed. And yeah, I'm just like trying to think of anything else that I'm like dying to say about this book, because I don't want to spoil it for anybody because it hasn't even come out yet. So I'm like, I should probably keep any of the spoilers to a minimum, if not zero. So I can't really talk too much about what the book was really about, but just this book was so different. This book was so different than any other book that she has written before, and I think that it's going to be really refreshing to a lot of people. I know that there are plenty of people who are just hell-bent on not liking Emily Henry for whatever reason that they have, and that's totally fine, but I don't know. I think that this is really good. I think that the execution was incredible. I think that the writing style was fantastic. I just am really impressed by the way that she crafted this novel. Is it my favorite? No. I don't know where it would rank within my Emily Henry ranking, because it really is so different. Like, it really truly is so different. And I really understand where people are coming from when they're like, this isn't really a romance novel. I can see that. Even though like the way that the main character kind of describes it, because I feel like it is a little bit sort of addressed within the text of like, yeah, it's not really a romance novel. It's not really about romance, but it is about love. And so, and it like, obviously it has a happy ending. I feel like that's not really a spoiler. It is in the romance genre. And so I'm just like, I get it. I get kind of both sides of it, of like, this is a romance adjacent novel, if that makes sense. Like, I don't really know where I would categorize this book, because I guess not really in literary fiction, not really, maybe in romance, I guess, if you have to put it somewhere. General fiction, maybe, I'm not sure. Like, where would you put this book? I have no idea. Historical fiction? No. I don't know. Like, it just, it really transcends a lot of the genres that she's playing around with here. So I don't really know where I would categorize it, but all I know is that I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what everybody else thinks once it finally comes out. It was a really fun book. It was a really fun read, really emotional, really introspective, really, like, if you're into history, if you're into film, if you're into Hollywood stuff, I would highly recommend it. I think you're really gonna like it. And yeah, so those are my thoughts on Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I can't believe that it's over. I hope you guys all enjoyed this reading vlog. It's been a long time since I've done like a dedicated reading vlog for one book. It's been a long time. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, Storygraph, TikTok. All the links are down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!